There we go. Okay. Hello, hello. Oh, I thought I turned that off. I guess I didn't. There it goes. Now it's turning off. Okay. Whew. Okay. I don't know if I can see it from here. No, I have to go the other way. Hey, Rhea. How are you? Okay. Let's see if I can see it on my phone. Ha! That's funny. I sent out a text and then Casey sent out a text. That's funny. Okay, I just want to make sure that I am live on YouTube as well. How are y'all tonight, by the way? Y'all doing well? Yes, it's live. Yay! Okay. All right. So I got some of these. Have y'all ever done anything with these? So these are the little foam. They're not foam. They're grapevine inside here, but they have the moss all over them, so they're moss covered. I'm gonna give y'all the number. I got them from Craig Bachman. Did I get them from Craig Bachman? Maybe I got them from Pioneer. No, I got them from Craig Bachman. That's right. Okay. Alright, so this here is KC1115. So KC1115. Then we have, y'all look at this. Look how pretty this is. This is from Sims. We're not going to use a ton of this. Are you telling me? Okay, here it is. I was going to say, oh no, there's no tag. Wait, all that says is made in China. Okay. It has no number on it. Okay, I'll have to look it up. We're not going to use a whole lot of this. We're just going to use some of it. And then I have, so I just got a bunch of stuff from Pioneer in. And this was my first time ordering from Pioneer. And I really like this. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I super love this. This one is PWF 2853GR. So PWF 2853GR. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to take a couple of these and we're going to make a little swag to put on here. Okay. And we're going to add in some of these flowers. I also have a thing of boxwood, eucalyptus, just in case we need it. This is PF 1742. Then we have two of the colors in here. So we have the peach and the tan in ribbon. I have 3 of these because one of them we'll take apart and kind of fill in and put in around where the bow is, because it is great to take these and make them like into a swag, right, and put it on, but then you still need to put a little bit more. So that's what we're doing tonight. And I did have time to run and go get Mama. Yep. All right. So, my knee. Now my knee's killing me. All right. Let me zoom in. Let's get going on the bow. And I'm going to talk about how I determine, which picks are best and things like that. 'Cause, when I first started, it could get really confusing, especially if you're not really used to a lot of greenery. And then all of a sudden you're buying greenery. Hold on, I'm going to get my glue going here. We're not going to really need a ton of glue. Okay. There we go. But I want to have it on just in case I decide I need it. Alright. Okay. So, whoop. Alright. Oh, and we're going to add a call every week where you can come in and ask questions, or, you know, if you're struggling with something, we can talk about it. I'm going to put a poll in the group so we can figure out a good day and time to do that. So it'll be a Zoom call. Okay. All right. So we'll start off with the tan in the back. Okay. We're just going to do our little dovetail. Now, if you don't want to do a dovetail alternately, what you can do, let me just cut this off so I can show you. Especially if you have the thicker ribbon, you can take it and fold it a couple of times like this, and then you get more of a blunt edge. So you can either do that or you can do the dovetail. So, all right. Okay. I find that things like that tend to go out of style and come back in. Because it used to be that I would see a lot of that where they folded the ribbon edges over, and then it kind of went away for a while, and then it kind of came back. So let's see, I want about a 12-inch tail. Yay, Zoom. Yep. I want to make sure that y'all have an opportunity to ask me questions. All right, so we're going to do 6 inches. 6, 6. We're going to do, let's do 3 loops. I'll do 3 loops. I should have grabbed a cream, because that would be pretty in here too. I don't know if we have any cream cut up. I should have looked at that. It's always when I get in here and I start creating that I think, oh, I should have had. Y'all do that? Sometimes. Okay. So this is going to be our base part. But that's okay, because I really like this peach. See how pretty the peach is? And it has cream in it, so it really kind of works well with our color scheme. Oh, and let me say this. This is a flower that they had in the fall for Sims. So I got this from Sims. And I wanted to just kind of show you how you can still use these and they be, you know, spring or summer, because sometimes it can be hard to find, yeah, especially right now, spring or summer, but they still may have some fallout. So if you just pick something that even has a little bit of something that could be a spring color like this peach, then you're able to make it into a transition piece where it can go from, you know, spring to fall, so on and so forth. Yes, I can do that. I can do that for sure. My favorites list. Okay, so we'll do 6 inch, 6 inch. And then 6 inch. There we go. All right. There's your food, Grandma.
Okay.
No, he's coming. We're back here, Connor. He's coming, Ma.
I'll go out here, honey.
It's not going to hurt him to come. Alright, so this one I want to do a little bit shorter. So I'm going to do this tail a little bit shorter. Okay, so let's do like 8 inches. Okay, so here's one thing I want you to notice. We did 3, 2. We are not going to do 1. Hi!
Hi.
Thank you!
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ross!
Do I want to be on TV? No?
They're like, my grandma's like, do you want to be on TV? And the boys are like, no.
With me. Just Ross in it.
Oh, we'll be doing bows. Don't worry. The bows will be good. Me?
You got a sauce?
Yeah. I'm just kind of leave it in the bag.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do 2.
No straws?
Yeah, no sauce.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Now
Thank you.
yourself some.
Grandma was starving.
Aren't you starving? Or not?
Yeah,
What you want?
He tells you now, huh?
yeah.
He doesn't like, Ross doesn't like Arby's.
Yeah.
He thinks Arby's is gross.
She texted the head
Ross,
doctor
come here.
to see if,
Come here.
she could get you in. I'll bet she
All right, come here. You have to say hi to Casey.
Hi.
Bend down a little bit. Some of us are not that tall.
I'm not
Okay.
that tall.
Thank you, sweetie. You're taller than the camera. That's so funny. He's like, "Oh, really, Mom? I know. They used to love to come on. Now it's like, no. I'm going to die if I have to go on.
Somebody might see me.
Yeah, but now they're too big for that now. That's so funny. Okay, so we're gonna do 5. 5. So one of the reasons I did this is because I want to have multiple layers, and I want to have multiple layers so that we can take some of these flowers and add the flowers into the bow. So then it kind of makes the whole thing a little bit more cohesive. So, okay. Let's do a little center bow. We don't do that very often. So all you have to do is one little loop, you know, about like, you know, 1.5 to 2 inches. And then just pull it out, trim it off. He could be driving already, but he has chosen not to right now. Or he has not shown any interest. Okay, so I'm put it under one side. If you struggle with this part, just start with your zip tie at the bottom. We're just gonna get it out. Connor, are you gone? Yeah, he's already gone. Okay, so we've got our little indentation there. Okay. I want to make sure all my tails are forward. Okay. See, there's our little center piece. Let's make sure these are, yep, those are good. All right, and then I'm gonna put a zip tie in the back. We'll be using a few zip ties. Good. I'm gonna get a couple of extra that are a little bit smaller. But for this, I wanna put on a larger zip tie. So I'll just stick it right under there. Okay. And we'll tighten it. Make this a little bigger so you can see. Okay. So we have both zip ties back here. Time is a thief, right? I was just saying this morning how much fun it was when I used to get to do stuff with the kids. Now they're like, they don't want to do stuff with me. They're too big for that. Now they want to do stuff with their friends or their cousin. And Mom is not included in that. I'm very sad about that. How did that happen? All right, so we'll do the other side. If you have trouble, you see how these two kind of want to stick together? Just lay your bow down, take your loops and physically pull them apart, and then you're going to have a lot more success. So same thing, pull it apart. Sometimes I find that even when I'm trying to just fluff it, that they want to tend to stick together. So just pull them out. And then they'll do what you want them to. See how pretty that is? It's nice and neutral, but it has this really pretty pop of the peach. Okay. I know the sad part is growing up. I know. But I'm going to be really ticked if they don't get married eventually and have children, so I have someone else to play with again. How's this glue doing? Just checking my glue, guys. Give me just a second. It's not heating up very fast. Let's heat it up a little. Okay. Now, so we got our bow. So we're just going to kind of set that aside. Now we're going to work on our little flags. All right. Here's the important parts about picking out greenery. So when you're picking out greenery, one thing that I like to look at is it all one shade, or are there different shades of green in it? So you see there's some light here, there's some light here. There's also kind of some dark browns in here, and there's some dark greens. So there's different shades of green, which means this is a much better pick than, say, what do we do these? Okay, this. See, this one has some varying shades, but they're all the same. So I like to try to find mixed that have a good combination of things. Whose anniversary is it? Haha, awesome, happy anniversary. Okay, when you're putting your greenery and your florals in, it's super important that you take the time to really pull them out, spread them out, because for one thing, you're gonna get a lot more. If you just put it in like this, I mean, that's pretty, it covers well, but it's not gonna cover nearly as much as if you pull all these pieces, pull them out, because you want to see all the different stuff in here. So if I'm gonna have any points where you're not gonna, where it's gonna really be too thin, what I'll do is I will take this and I will add some in, especially kind of like right back in here, like right in there. So I can do all of that. I can do all of that here, and we won't have to work on it as much, because once we get it all fluffed out and everything looks good, then we can put it in and we're almost done. Okay, so what I'll do is take some of this, just cut a few pieces off, okay, spread these out. Now these aren't going to spread out as nicely as these, but you see how if you add a little bit in, how it starts to really kind of make that look better. So what I'll do to do that, where's my green wire? Hold on, I moved something. Now I gotta figure out where I moved it. I swore it was right here. Did it fall over? Where did it go? Oh wait, maybe it's over here. because I showed it the other day. Is it better now? Yeah, my glue's getting better. I literally don't know where I put it. See, now you watch. As soon as I get off, I'll look down and I'll go, oh, there it is. Because that's what happens. Okay. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to grab some of this. Alright, so I like to use green wire if I'm going to do this because it's just easier to camouflage. So I just get a couple pieces. This is thin. Not quite as, well, yeah, it's about the same thickness. Maybe a little bit more. This is probably 24 gauge instead of 26. Alright, I'm just going to cut a piece off. Okay. And I will wire, so I'll kind of flip this over. And I'm going to wire this to another piece. Because when you're putting these together, especially if it's not a very long stem, using glue is not going to be the best option because it may or may not stay together. So you just put, oh, how exciting. Okay, so we did that one. Now let's do one over here. So we're going to do one. So I'm going to kind of push it down in here like that. You see how much fuller that makes that now? But I'll flip it over and tie it to the closest piece I can find. So like right here. I don't need a huge piece, just a little piece. And I'll do it a few times. If you have long enough pieces, you can pull it all down and zip tie it together down here. Otherwise, use your wire because it will work. Right. Goodness. Oh, that's their air conditioner. I was like, what's that noise? That's their air conditioner. All right, let's see. I'll get a piece out of here. Then I'm just going to take a little stick. I'm just going to get a little bit of hot glue and just put it right over where I wired it. All this does is just keep that wire in place so it's not going to move. You don't need a ton, just a little, like that. And then look, already it's much bigger and fuller just by adding in those two little pieces. Okay, this seems, hold on, this seems flimsy. I want to put just a little bit, another little piece. Okay. Make sure you kind of stress test it a little. There we go. Much better. Okay. Let's put a little glue on that. In there. Okay. Like that. Yeah, it's good. And it's going to be sitting against that as well, so. Alright, so let's do the same thing to this one. And then this one, we will take apart and we will fill in where we need. Yeah, that's exciting. John and I have our anniversary in June. Hopefully we will be able to go on vacation during our anniversary this year. You just never know how things are going to go. Okay, so we pulled that out. Really kind of work with these things. You don't want them to just lay flat because then they're not going to look natural. So see, when we pull them out, I'm I'm just going to hold that aside. When we pull them out, it really makes it look a lot better, but it also kind of thins it a little bit. So that's why we're just adding in a couple little pieces. Oh, I got to 10,000 steps, Ma.
What?
I just got to 10,000 steps.
Oh.
That's probably why my feet are hurting a little bit.
That's all.
Okay, so I'm going to place it. So see how I'm looking for that kind of empty spot right in here? I place it there. We'll flip it over and we will wire it to that piece. And I have some of this wire on a paddle, but I don't know what I do with it. It happens. And sometimes they come in here and borrow things. So sometimes things get moved. And that's okay. I always have backups. So, alright, we'll put a little bit of glue on that. My glue is too thick. You see how thick that is? So that's a little bit too thick. So I need to turn my thing up just a little. Okay. So you want it to be thicker, but not so thick that as soon as you take it out of the pan it dries. But you want it to dry pretty fast after you got it out. Yeah, well that's because, you know, we're stocking the shelves and we're back and forth to the car and hey, if I opened a place up every week, I would probably never need to exercise. Because it takes a lot of moving around. Okay, so let's do this side. All right, I also like that this is a whole nother shade of green. And so we're putting in, when you're putting in greenery, you want to put in different shades. So different shades of your greens. That really helps make it look more natural. I am standing on the mat, yes. I do have one of those anti-fatigue mats. And I'm standing on it now. But unfortunately, when I was walking around the studio earlier, there's no anti-fatigue mat over there. So, it's just hard floor, concrete floor. Okay. So, let's see, does that feel? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay, a little bit of glue there. See if our glue is a little better. Yep, glue's a little better. Okay. You want it enough to be able to do what you want. So there we go. There's our second one. Okay. Now, we're gonna cut, because we don't need, well, let's see, how much do we need? All right. So before we start putting the flowers in, I just want to measure out how much I need in between. So about right there. It's pretty good. Okay, so about right here. So I can trim off about this much. Okay. Alright. Like that. What I'll do is I will zip tie them. I'll go ahead and zip tie these two together. Okay. And I want the zip tie to be up towards where the bow is going to go, because you don't want anything on the back, because it's not going to sit flush on here if your zip tie part is at the bottom. Yeah, it is a concrete is a killer. I agree. Okay. There we go. These are messy, but they're so pretty. All right, now, next step is to work on getting these in. So we want some of the brown and cream definitely peach. Okay, and we're going to put them on both sides. Remember, we'll be putting it in the bow. Okay. Alright. So we got to do the same thing with this, kind of spread it out. These are not the most attractive leaves. So I'm only going to leave the one here on it, and I'm going to kind of push it up. If you get your florals and they look like a hot mess, you can take, you know, a clothing steamer. You can take a clothing steamer and just kind of run the steamer over it, and they'll kind of fluff back up. All right, so we're going to kind of see. What I'm going to do is push them. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to push that forward, kind of bend this forward, because I want this flower petal to be facing this direction. So like this. Okay. So I want to see about how long I need it. Okay, about right there. Let's see, let's get a brown one. Let's take that piece off. Let's see if we can kind of get these facing forward a little. Okay. These kind of like this. A little bit like that. So you don't want them all together. Let's see. I think that's good. All right. Okay. So I'm going to wire these in just like we did the other. You can glue things into this, but honestly, it does a little bit. Yeah, the moss was on the wreath already. It does a little bit better if you don't have to push things into that. All right, so I'm just gonna wire it on. Okay. This one as well. Let's kind of go here. Let's go in there. Okay. That. Maybe do another peach on this side. Let's take that made in Taiwan off. I don't think people want to know that. Okay, take that off. Push this up a little. Not too much. Okay. Let's see, where do we want this one? Maybe a little bit lower, like that. Oh, look how pretty that is. Ma,
What?
look how pretty that is.
Oh, that is so pretty.
All right, so this one, let's wire this on. If the stems are long enough, definitely take it down to where these are. Otherwise, just right to the little thing itself. Okay. This one here. Okay. If you're worried about it, what you can do, get a little bit of the florist tape. This is activated by stretching it. So you just stretch it, and then it will, well, I don't want it to stick in my fingers, but it did. It will stick to itself. There we go. Then that's like another layer. Okay. All right, there we go. Kind of pull these out a little. There. Okay, so let's work on the other side. All pull these forward. See, we definitely have the tan in, but we're putting a little bit more of the peach in than the tan, so that's what kind of helps us make sure it's not too fallish. Okay. Let's see what I did with my wire. Oh, there it is. It is right in front of me. Okay. See? Let's wire this in. Put a tiny little piece of tape on it. Then we won't see it. It really wants to stick to my hands. But it will stick to itself. There we go. Alright, so we got that one. Let's kind of pull this through a little bit. These do not have to be the exact same length on each side because they wouldn't be in nature, right? Okay, let's push that up. Let's push this forward. Push these up just a little bit. Okay, this one I'll kind of put over here. All right, let's see, do I have any more of that wire left? Yes. All right. Okay. And once I get this part, I will put this tape all around this area. Ooh, this one was picking up. That one was missing a bud. These leaves we're actually going to use on the back. Okay. There we go. Alright, so push this one in over here. Let's see, there's that one. Do we have any more wire? Yes. Haha! We have just enough wire. Alright. Now, I'm going to pull that out a little. Okay. We will actually put some stuff in this, but it's better if you only put some in there. Okay. Just because it's not as strong as a grapevine itself. Alright, so let's take this tape. Okay. A little bit easier when you get to this part because you're not dealing with little pieces. And this stuff is stronger than it seems. So you just stretch it as you're going. Got that side. So maybe put just a little bit more up here. Okay, I want to put just a little bit. The only bad thing about this is your hands are going to be sticky after playing with this tape. But it works great. Okay, now let's do this side. So I'm going to go right over where I have some of those flowers tied in. Okay. Stretch, stretch. Now, if you look at it, it looks like one piece. Okay, so you can see when we put it down, I'm going to pull it out a little. See how it looks? So we're going to take this piece and we're going to zip tie it to the base. Okay, just like that. And once again, I have that zip tie up here under the thing. So what we'll do with these extras is we will just cover just like that. So you can't see, or so it at least kind of hides our mechanics. Oh no! I hope it passes you by and nothing happens. Okay. So, now we can see how it works with our bow. See how pretty that is? And we'll fix our tails so that they're not interfering. I show Mom.
That might have to be mine.
Oh Lord, she says it's hers.
Yes, I love that one.
Alright, so I'm just tying it on. Once again with a zip tie, I want it to be as close to that other zip tie as possible. Okay. Now. Okay. So let's work on these tails a little bit. So we're gonna curl these up. Okay. There we go. We may need to trim these off a little, but we want them to kind of cover where our mechanics are right here. Hey, Nancy. Okay. But you see how this, yeah, that's way too long. Let's trim that off. This does not look like a fall. It looks more like spring.
Or summer.
Or summer, yes.
Yeah.
But you could really, literally leave it out in the fall. So this is what they would truly call a transition piece, because you can go from one season to the next. And so when if you're listing stuff, like on Etsy or whatever, it's really good to use terms like, this is a transition wreath that can take you from this to this. And then they're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, so we're gonna take some of this and put it under our bow, because you don't wanna miss this part, right? So you don't wanna miss kind of out here. Okay. So just kind of pull some of these out. See, these are all just taped together with that same floral tape. You like how Baba said that might have to be mine? Yeah.
More than just mine.
Oh, more than just might.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing that's a done deal. All right, so you see how these are kind of flimsy? Right here, a little bit. What you can do is use some of these little floral picks. It comes with wire. You just kind of wrap the wire around like that. You would want to use some of your tape. I think I have green. Do I have green in here? I know I have green. I just don't know if I have green in here. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. Take a little bit of this. Same principle. Just stretch it. Okay. I know this stick is long, but we can trim it. Yeah. I'm very thankful to still have my mama. Her mama passed. How old was your mom when she passed, Mom? Grandma.
75.
So she's lived way past her parents.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you cut them, you want to cut them at an angle. Okay. Because it makes it easier to get it in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little glue on it. And I'm going to place it in underneath the bow. Kind of push it in just like that, so you can kind of hear that. There we go. So remember how we've talked about in the past how when you're doing a wreath you have to establish a line? This is part of your line, right? So part of your line comes out to the side. Okay, this one's pretty sturdy, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. I think so. Okay. It's just a little glue. Place it in. One thing about these moss wreaths, you don't want to put too many things in one place with these. They're just not as sturdy as some of the others. I don't think we're going to use the stick part. Set that over here. Okay. We still have some more. So I always like to take that third pick and start to work it in so that we have that whole piece coming. Okay. Just kind of bending this a little. Alright. There we go. See, some of these pieces are totally fine to put in. Some are not. But one thing that really helps is to make that angle cut. Was she 73? Yeah. I don't know. How old was Grandpa? Mama?
What?
How old was Grandpa?
He was 75 as well.
Yeah. But he was 10 years older than
He was.
she was.
Yeah.
So she lived without him for a long time.
Yeah. 10 years.
10 years. See, look. See how much of a difference that makes? Just adding a little bit of that in. Okay. Glue everywhere.
Glue is strung out.
I'm stringing. All right. I want to keep a little bit of this for our bow. So we always want to incorporate our bow. As Mom says, we want to put stuff in it.
Stuff in it. Yeah.
Yes. We have to put stuff in it. So we'll just kind of put some pieces in there. And this you can glue right in between the ribbon. It'll hold it. Okay. Is that all we had of that? Oh wait, here's a piece. I was going to say, I thought I had another one of these. I did. Okay. Alright. There we go. Next we'll go over on this side. And doing this kind of really helps to incorporate the bow. And then we can take a little bit of this. Okay. I'm not sure we need quite that much. Maybe I can kind of push it up a little. Alright. And I want to put this kind of like on the inside of just a little bit. Because you always want to kind of get both ways. Right in there. So you see, you're only going to see a little, but that's really all you need. Just a little. Okay. Alrighty. Now we're going to take, we have two of these, we might put those in, I'm not sure. We're going to take a little bit of this. Okay. We don't need the leaves for this part. Just some of the flowers. Okay. Alright. So on this one, because it kind of leaves it open, you really just want to take your pliers and fold it over. You could also use glue if you don't have something like this. But you see how it just keeps it from coming off? Alright, and then we can start to put some of this in the bow. I really want some kind of close to where the bow is. Remember to flip your flower so you can see it. See, like that. Okay, let's get some of the, I know, it's funny. I'm glue stringing over here. Oh, yeah. So, the glue that I use a glue pan. So it's just an electric skillet from Walmart. And I just put whole glue sticks right in there. And I just use, there's a brand on Amazon that I use. It's not like a, I think it's called AdTech. It works great. You can also use, what's that other one I use? Gorilla Glue. I mean, the thing that you want to be the most careful about is just making sure that you don't have your glue too hot. So you want it to be around 225 degrees at the most. That's a lot, so let's pull some of that out. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna put a little bit more green in the bow. And since we added this in to here, we can now add it in to our bow. All right, so I'll take an extra piece, put this on. I'll do that little trick, fold it over. Okay, thank you. Cut that off. Okay, put this over here. Let's do like back here. There we go. I want to put just a little bit over here, and then that'll be it. Okay. I'm going to push that up. I think I really need that. Okay. You see that? So it's just kind of peeking out the side a little. All right. But one of the most important things to remember is to turn your flowers so you can see them. Otherwise, they look really pretty, but they're off in yonder land somewhere. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's see. We might need a little bit more flour kind of up here. So let's just get like some piece. Okay. Push that up. Like right in there. Okay. So what I'm looking for is little places that don't quite look like it comes all the way across, which you can get a little bit more of at the top, I think, than you can at the bottom. So let's look and see how we're looking. Ma?
Oh, that is definitely mine.
That is definitely hers, she says.
Yeah. And,
All right, so I see a little spot right in here. I think we're pretty good. But we need we have a little spot right there. So let's put a little bit right in there. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So it really helps to pull it up and pull it back and look at it. And then you can see where your holes are. Yes, see much better. We could also put a little bit of florals in here if we wanted to. Okay. Then we're going to take one of these. See if we can use just one. Okay. And then glue strings. We're just going to take some glue, paint it across here. You could also just put some more moss on it. But I like to put a leaf on it because one thing it does is it protects the door from getting scratched right there. Let's add. What did I do with that little stick? There it is. Just a little bit up here at the top. There we go. See, now I use the little stick to push it down. So I don't want to burn myself because that stinks. That really hurts. All right. All right, what do we think? Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. Aren't these awesome? These moss. These little moss wreaths. Alright, so then for a tie, so if people don't have something to hang it on their door, what you can do is get out our handy dandy. There it is. Wire stuff here. Okay, I have a green one, the rustic wire. Okay, just blends in a little better. And what I'll do is I will take, let me find them. I will take a couple, some people call them floral pins, some people call them greening pins. This is what I'll use. Okay. Let's see. Where is the opening of this thing? Right in there. Right there it is. Okay. Alright, so we'll take a chunk of this. There it goes. And I will take, kind of make my little hook. Then I'll take these and I will kind of make a little hole like this. I do it a couple of times, just make a little hole right there. Okay. You want to do moss? I'll send you home with a couple when you come. How's that? There we go. And then what I do is I take my pin, I put it right through the hole, okay, with a little glue on the pin. Whoops. Okay. Just kind of getting a little glue on them. I need to move my glue pot, but I haven't had time yet. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this one. Put it up here. And you just push it down. Same thing with this one. I like to go through that hole. Okay, and then I will take another leaf and I will put that right over there. It kind of helps to hold it in, and it just covers where it is, and you know, helps to protect the door. So that way there's a hanger. See? Like that. I feel like I put the hanger in the wrong place. I did. Well, let's just move that. There. Now it's in the right place. Okay. Let's put these on. So I just paint this leaf with glue, not my finger, because that's no fun. And I just put it right on, and it kind of serves double duty. Okay. I know. I'm getting ready. We're getting ready to start sending out the VIP stuff. I pretty much have all of the supplies in. There's a couple that I'm still waiting on, but pretty much everything's here. I'll be posting some little sneak peeks here shortly. Okay, there we go. See how that does? Awesome! I love it. See, and there it is. Oh, that's so pretty. And I still have enough to make another one. So this bush had a whole lot. I'll have to look and see what this bush was, but I know he has a lot of them because He likes to tell me about stuff when I'm there. I think he mostly likes to tell me about stuff that he's hoping I will take home. So on Friday night, we're doing a 70s night. So I guarantee you will be entertained. And we will definitely go live and show y'all all the funnies. Because people get really funny when they dress up. So, alright, take that off. Alright, y'all. I know I have a lot of classes to make up for y'all, so don't worry. I am going to get to them for foot breakage and other lovely things. But we will make sure you are entertained. Alright, y'all have an awesome night. And I'm going to try to go live in the studio tomorrow to show y'all kind of what it looks like. So, alright. Okay, y'all have a great night.